we are going to be joined by some extraordinary community leaders. Debbie Montgomery, the first woman to become a St. Paul police officer and the first Black woman elected to the St. Paul City Council. Senator Mary Kunesh, the first Indigenous Minnesota State Senator. Chua Lee, the first Hmong elected in the United States when she was elected to the St. Paul School Board and the first Hmong principal in St. Paul. Ilona Street Stewart, the first Indigenous Synod executive in the Presbyterian Church and a former St. Paul School Board member. Susan Kimberly, the first trans deputy mayor in the city of St. Paul. And Dr. Marquita Evans, the first Black woman president of St. Catherine University. And if you notice, they're leaving a little bit of space in between themselves for one other extraordinary leader who we're about to welcome back to the stage. Family, friends, dignitaries, and community members, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 56th mayor of the city of St. Paul, the Honorable Kaohly Her.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. I'm overwhelmed. I am overwhelmed. Well, it is my honor to stand here with all of you today as the 56th mayor of the great city of St. Paul. I want to specifically thank the people who helped me get here today. My family, to Kong, Aiden, and Taylor, thank you for loving me and being my rock during the long nights, the hard days, and the joyous moments. I want to thank St. Kate's for hosting us today, that when we thought about where we would be doing this swearing in, it was so important that we honored the fact that there is an all-women's institution here that has been teaching and educating women for many generations. And so thank you, St. Kate's, for hosting us here today. To my parents who carried my siblings and me on their backs to come to this country for a better life. Your strength and tenacity are the reasons I am here today. When I entered this race with just 3 months to campaign, I was told it would be impossible to win. The people who said that did not know that I was raised by parents who were relentless in their pursuit of safety, security, success, and the American dream. Despite the challenges or the impossibilities before you, such as language barriers, lack of opportunity, systemic and structural racism, poverty, you persisted and persevered. It was your lessons of Chita Kausi Galuju, Watlanchi la Yoju, Jausha ha Shiju, Oshande, Ha Yavanchu, Yakatsu Hauke. To my campaign team, I owe you a debt of gratitude. You are a dream team. In a time when politics is divisive and hostile, you represent all that is good and the possibility of what can be. Your compassion, care, empathy, and love, and your keen political analytics centered this campaign. You are the reflection of all of the best parts of who I am. I could not imagine this journey without each and every one of you. to the volunteers who knocked on thousands of doors, almost 40,000 to be exact, and the organizations and elected officials who had the political courage to speak out and support me in the earliest days of this campaign, especially when it was personally challenging. Your support means more to me than I will ever be able to express. To Mayor Melvin Carter, thank you for your many years of service to our city. You led our city through extremely challenging times. The work that you did laid the foundation for this new administration to springboard from. I started my political life working for you, and I will always be grateful for that opportunity. Thank you all for being here today. People have often reminded me of the historic nature of this election. Never in our city's history has a woman, Asian American, Hmong person, or refugee held this position. As I ran this campaign, these identities were woven into every action. But it is important for us to know that when we do big things and shatter glass ceilings, that we break them open for generations to come. Across our city, young women, my Hmong family, and refugee and immigrant communities will know that no office is too high for them to dream of or reach. I may be the first in some of these categories, but I will not be the last. The strong women standing with me here on stage broke barriers. It is because of their achievements that we keep opening new doors and shattering ceilings. No woman accomplishes something big without standing shoulder to shoulder with the women who did it before them. Thank you. I am so honored to have you here with me today. Thank you. Progress and forward momentum can only happen when we don't forget where we came from. I strive to honor my ancestors' legacy in everything that I do. They fled the only home that they knew in pursuit of safety and a better life. In a collectivist culture like the Hmong community, you never accomplish anything alone. We celebrate victories together, we grieve losses in masses, and we carry each other physically and figuratively for the entire life cycle. That is why the symbol of a baby carrier is central in the design of our campaign. The border around my logo and the pin that you all will receive today as you leave was inspired by my grandmother's baby carrier, the hlangya that she painstakingly and lovingly stitched together for each one of her grandchildren. Just as the women in our culture carried us, I want to honor and carry our city through these times. The truth is, we have so many opportunities ahead of us to take big, bold steps to move St. Paul forward. But there are also significant challenges we must face first. We have a federal administration determined to make life more difficult for all of us here. Whether it is cutting funding to our city or targeting our neighbors, we are facing an unprecedented incursion that we must meet head on. That is why I'm committed to working with the City Council to establish ordinances to rein in their power, from banning them from organizing in our public parks and spaces to implementing a ban on mask covering. One thing we know about this administration is that they won't play by the rules. But it is important we stand up for our neighbors and set those rules first. We are already breaking down communication barriers between the police and our community partners to ensure that when ICE comes here again, we are working together as a community. Let's not forget who is the aggressor here, who is the one tearing families apart, who is targeting people by the way that they look or how they sound. Working together in solidarity is the only way to weather through these next few years. I am determined not to allow this federal administration to turn us against each other. At the core of the problems facing our city is a steady eye on our financial future and security. You're already feeling the pinch from that in your property taxes or shouldering those expenses in your rent. So as a person with an investments background, here's the piece I'm sure you've all been waiting for. Deferred maintenance and budget projections. These expenses are knowable and we can plan for them. Right now, our city does not have a compiled list of upcoming projects and deferred maintenance. I'm excited to change that. But based on the back of the napkin math, after meeting with all of our city departments, we likely have over $1 billion in needs, including our largest city assets, the Grand Casino Arena, River Center, and Roy Wilkins Auditorium. From our outdated fire training facilities to our libraries, we need to plan to maintain and rebuild our public assets. I am excited to build that. Those who have worked with me at the Capitol know that I will never come to you without numbers, data points, or a plan. My strongest belief is that if we ask our state partners for help, we need to come with a sustainable strategy in hand so that we don't keep asking for money every couple of decades. I'm excited to accomplish that. Finances and getting our government back to doing the basics right may not be flashy, but it is important for every facet of our city, from renters to business owners to visitors to homeowners. My commitment to the city is that we will get back to the basics of running our government right. That means responding to every request, getting construction permits out the door, and facilitating conversations that keep and retain businesses, from downtown to Payne Avenue to Grand Avenue and everywhere people hope to chase their dreams and make our city more vibrant. I made this commitment to all of you on election night, and I hope in the 2 months since you've seen it to be true. I will always show up. We're a large city, but a small community. Being connected matters. Knowing what's going on in every corner of our city matters. It's how I can best fight for you as your mayor. As I close, I would be remiss if I didn't mention and honor the people who aren't here with us today. First, my maternal grandfather, Colonel Nyasu Yang, who fought in the Secret War and also achieved many firsts. He was the first Hmong Methodist pastor in the world and the first Hmong police chaplain in the country under Mayor George Latimer. The second is my paternal grandmother, Ncong Xiong. She may not have been the first anything, but she embodied quiet toughness, which she passed down to me, although my husband would say maybe I'm not so quiet in that toughness. She showed me that I could embrace my role as a traditional Hmong woman while pursuing my education, being independent, and achieving success. That bringing all of me, the complexities of all of my identities, into this work is an asset, not a deficit. I know that they both would have been extremely proud of this moment. Lastly, Mark and Melissa Hortman. Melissa's legacy and words wrapped themselves around my heart after her death, and it was her mentorship and example that led me to run for this office. Those of us who had the privilege of witnessing Melissa's leadership up close know she was never about the long speeches which she would tell me to wrap it up because it's too long, or the photo ops. She was an in-the-weeds, hardworking, putting people first kind of leader. I can't see my notes now. Mark was a shining example of the support we should all need and want in good times and bad. Every step of the way, he was there giving us new ideas, taking care of us through the long nights, and being the rock who supported Melissa as she led our state. His legacy is a reminder that none of us can do this work alone, and we all need people to guide and love us behind the scenes to keep us on track and accomplish the biggest goals on behalf of those who need our help. Melissa made us better representatives by expecting us to fight for our seats and the right to represent our constituents. Civic choice matters. It is important, and that's what we gave to the city of St. Paul. Sorry about that. Hummingbirds came to symbolize and offer peace to me in times of great uncertainty or need. When we were fighting to win a trifecta, I coordinated majority whip door knocks to support Melissa's speaker door knocks in purple districts. While door knocking for Representative Christy Purcell, I saw my first hummingbird ever in my entire life. It was so close that I could touch it. Then again, when door knocking in Hermantown in the following cycle, when we prevented a Republican majority, sorry, my Republican friends, in the House. When I decided to run for mayor, I was always cautious about the feedback we were receiving. I often asked my team whether we were in an echo chamber, just hearing from those we wanted to hear from. A month and a half before the election, a hummingbird appeared near the entryway of a home I was about to knock on, and I knew it was a sign of what was to come if we worked hard enough. I know this isn't in my notes, but I've never seen hummingbirds outside of door knocking, so you all should door knock with me. As you leave here today, you will receive a little gift bag with a cookie, chocolate chip, which is my favorite, and a pin with a hummingbird on it and the outline of my grandmother's baby carrier. I hope it comes to mean the same to you: hope, strength, resiliency, and the courage to do big, bold things. Thank you so much for being here today. Now let's get to work, or in the words of Melissa Hortman, LFG.